Good morning, folks. It's Andy here, Mike 0 Delta Romeo November, with you for another video. And today I want to talk about the frequency mixers I use in my various Superhet receivers. Superhets stroke communication receivers. The one I'm going to talk to you about, and my favorite mixer, frequency mixer, is the AD831, and it's this little device here. It's an active mixer device, and it's available freely. I buy mine from eBay. They're about £12, and I'll just go through it with you. The reason I prefer this to the SA602 and the NE602 is just I think it performs better, and it's a lot easier actually to install because you've only got 1, 2, 3 connections plus a power supply. So, oh, something beeped at me, so hopefully we're still in focus. Okay, right, so we've got the RF input on the left hand side, the IF output on the right, and down the bottom you've got the local oscillator. The local oscillator is where you connect the your VFO, your DDS VFO. In my case, that's what I use. So you literally plug the DDS VFO into here. RF input, you literally plug your aerial into here. You can present this to your the case of your receiver, and if you want to plug input tuning into here between here and the receiver, you can, and the connection on the receiver you can, but you can plug an aerial straight into here, and believe it or not, it will work. Obviously if you use other input tuning, it will perform better. And the IF output here, that's IF output, and that's where you would connect your ceramic resonator or IF transformer. In my case, I use a 3-pin ceramic resonator, 455 kilohertz out. So that's the mixer. And really, just to say that these connections here use a form of I can't remember what that plug is called, but you guys would probably know what they are. I find them quite awkward to use on a circuit board. I mean, it'd be okay if I was putting this in the case and and put the different connections on it, but what I do, I solder my own wires. I solder one to the input, one to the earth in each case, and then I'll lead that to wherever I want to put this on, in my case, or on the circuit. So that's how I use it. And of course the 5-volt regulator, which this requires, solders on here quite easily. So you've got your ground and you've got your voltage input for 5 volts. So that's what this looks like, folks. So what I'll do, I'll show you, I'll pause for a minute and I'll show you what this looks like in my case in circuit. So back to you in a second. Well, here we are back, folks. This is my one of my receivers. I've made several receivers with the same circuit. I've made one for HF. The circuit's exactly the same. It's just that I just can have one on different parts in different parts of the shack. So, right. So if you see here, that's the IF out. So that's my ceramic resonator, 455 kilohertz. There's my voltage regulator down there. We'll go local oscillator. Okay, local oscillator out. So that's where my DDS VFO plugs into, and RF in. That's where my aerial connects to at the bottom there. And all of these those 3 connections go to one of these here. One of these connectors at the back here. And oh yeah, just to say, after the ceramic resonator, then you've got your detection and AGC circuit. And for detection and AGC, I use that ZM414 MK484. The modern equivalent to it is the TA7642. TA7642. Again, those chips are readily available on eBay, quite cheap, especially the equivalent TA7642, and that gives you detection and AGC, and it then fed to this amplifier here on this board here. That's my audio amplifier, which is the AD831, which is a 12-volt car car radio. I think they used to use them in car radios. It's quite good. It's got an audio amp inside. And this thing here, barcode, well, just barcode LED, 10 segment barcode LED. And what that does, that acts as a tuning indication. So the more of these that are lit, the stronger the signal. It's derived from the signal from the audio. So I just take that just after the MK484 before it goes into the audio amplifier, which is here. So you know, it's quite useful. It's just a tuning indicator. I think sometimes it looks quite pretty. I mean, there are other types of signal meters, but that's the one I use. The important thing about this mixer is I think it works well. I think B, it's easy to wire in, and the other thing is that the range of it's actually stated that it's from 1 megahertz to 1 to 500 megahertz. But this goes down right into the long wave band, and it works very well on long wave. So if you, as well as a medium wave receiver, HF receiver, and long wave receiver, sorry, then you can use it for long wave. I get a bit tongue tied. I always do this time of morning. Probably need some more caffeine. So that's what it looks like in the case, folks. I think I've covered everything about the mixer. But what I'll do in a minute, I'll put everything back together, and I'll plug everything in, and then we can have a listen to it on long wave and on medium wave. I won't cover HF this morning because I had a quick check of the HF bands, and they're not great today here, so it'd be probably too much for them, make the video too long. So put it back together, and we'll have a listen to what it sounds like on long wave and medium wave. So back in a minute, folks. Right, folks, here we are back again. Well, I've got everything plugged in now, so that you can have a listen to long wave. It's tuned to 198 kilohertz, which is BBC Radio 4 on long wave. So let's turn it up.
Other issues to try to advance women's equity in the United States, both in his time in the U.S. Senate and when he was formerly vice president. But I do think these questions will continue to come up, and they're important to voters.
The politics as usual. Yeah, so I've got a medium wave, sorry, beg your pardon, I've got a long wave pre-selector, and it's actually Earl's tuning circuit with a ferret rod, but I'm using a long wave coil, so that gives me a long wave, so I can tune long wave.
I'm really reluctant at this point.
So as you can hear, it sounds pretty good.
There are so many.
And by the way, that's my IF gain control there. And what I do, how I get that is that I vary the voltage of the MK484. It's the voltage, supply voltage should be about 1.5, but if you vary it higher or lower, you can get different different signal quality. So if you turn up too much, it almost gets to the point of oscillation, but it means it's sharper. So that's how I do it, and I just vary it by supplying more voltage than required, but then using a variable resistor, and that's what that is to vary the voltage. So that's it. That's Radio 4. And there's a station in Ireland. I think it's RTE Radio 1. Let's see if we can listen to that. That's on 252. Tune it up a bit. Turn it down. You're getting some interference from a laptop, because that station's outside, of course, the service area. I'm in Ramsgate, and so you're getting some interference. But I'll see if I can move the ear around to tune in. And that's better.
And you're also looking at a situation where there's huge extra expenditure on the health side.
Interestingly, there's another station on the same frequency in Algeria. So let's see if we can just by moving the ear, we can hear it. Oops. You can hear it. You can just about hear it in the background. Yeah, you can hear it in the background. But yeah, So that's outside my service here anyway. But just so yes, I mean you can get other French stations and so on here on long way. There's not too many stations around these days, but just to let you know, just to show you that it does go down all the way to 198 and 253 kilohertz. You know, so it does go all the way down to long wave if you want to listen to it. So okay, so the other next thing to do. You guys who've probably heard seen my other videos will know that this does work on medium wave, but I'll just show you anyway. So just going to pause it for a minute while I connect another aerial up. Okay, back again. I've connected another aerial up for the medium wave. Just so we'll move the dial to medium wave. So quick way here. I'll just go up to another VFO on here. So that takes us to medium wave. Turn it up.
The pandemic that's happening right now across the entire world. With the football, in the football perspective.
Just tune around a little bit.
That's what the early plans said. The fourth part is testing. I'm sure we'll come to testing. Clearly the ramp up of testing is very important. But we put
Allread.com. 10% of new customers would have saved 24% versus buying multiple single policies via the same channel. September to December.
As you can see, I think it's quite sharp, and you know, if I compare it to the SA602 mixer, I think it performs a lot better for me. But not knocking the SA602 because I've got other receivers in the shack which I've built with that, and you know, they're absolutely fine. Okay, so I'll just give you some indication of how good the filters work on here, how narrow the filter is on this receiver. I'll see if I can listen to BBC Radiation Network on it's on 1458 here, 1458, 49, okay. So I'm 1449, but I have to off-tune it because there's interference from a neighbouring station. So let's just see if we can manage to get that interference. You see that suffers from interference from a neighbouring station, so I'll just show you. Yeah, see though, that station, which is a bit further up, is very strong, and that's another radiation station. So I always use those two stations as a test. If I can hear BBC Radiation Network on that frequency, I know that the receiver's not doing too bad actually because of the closeness and the interference I get. So that's it, folks. I just wanted to give you a flavour of the mixers I use. I mean, yesterday I told you about the different DDF VFOs I use. Well, say yesterday, a couple of days ago now, about the different DDF VFOs I use, and it's all good fun, really, all good fun. So just let me know what you think, and let me know if you have any ideas or if you use any other mixers and what you think about the video. And please subscribe. I need more subscribers. Thank you very much, folks. Have a very nice day. This is Mike 0 Delta Romeo November Andy Ramsgate in Kent signing clear. Cheerio.
Screws and put them in. Andy! Oh, this is a tough one, but I think Andy might have won the crown. My mundane job was sanding down 3 flights of staircases. Undercoating, repainting, undercoating.
Your limit, also not trying to expect yourself to live how you live beforehand because we're in different times.
Yeah, different times indeed. Social.
Hey, it's going to be hard. He undercoated and repainted.